See if we are ready. We are live. So, this conversation is all about you understanding what is really determining what is possible for you. Now, I am a person that constantly says, in fact, I think it's Lutzow that says, opportunity multiplies when it is seized. And opportunity is all around us. It's just we don't have the awareness to understand what is possible. And so, this is what this conversation is going to be about. I'm going to share with you multiple ways that you can literally start understanding what is really out there, what is really possible, and then really look at what is it that keeps you from seeing the things that want to come into your life, right? Because there's this wonderful word called desire, right? And the reason we have desire is because there's something inside of us that wants to come out, and therefore we look outside ourselves. And the very act of wanting to do that, which is a great thing, by the way, you wanting to do that is you. It's like the saying goes: your greatest desire is also your greatest fear, because you manifesting or becoming the person that is required to make what it is you desire a reality. You have to let go of some of the things that you are right now. You have to let go of parts of you in order for you to become a different version of who you are, to create something that you haven't currently created. However, this is what's really, really important. There are algorithms that are playing in your life in front of you all day long and showing you how there are great people have gone great lengths to control what it is that you perceive. Okay, let me repeat that. There has been great effort of platforms to go to control what it is that you perceive. Great lengths. Okay, now you can take that however you want to take that. In fact, I would encourage you to not to take anything I say at face value. I'd encourage you to do your own work. However, with this caveat, when you do your own work, make sure you are doing a balanced research, because a lot of people research based on what they believe and they search to confirm what they believe. Now, friends, one of my mentors told me this one time, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's powerful. He says, if you keep researching and keep studying what confirms your current beliefs, it becomes ancestral, right? And you end up developing atrophy in your awareness and not able to make very discerning decisions, because we we have this wonderful thing called an ego, right? And so does every single person on this planet. And every person, well, is doing what they believe they're supposed to be doing in the way that they're supposed to be doing it with what it is that they're doing it with. And because of that, we can easily be persuaded to believe certain things that don't allow us to see what is possible. Great song. Well, I'm going to date myself here, but it's okay. I'm okay. That Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. Just all along another brick in the wall, right? And powerful song. It's a powerful song because it really is articulating that there are efforts to keep us believing a certain belief, and the more people believe that, the less resistance there's going to be, right? Like conformity doesn't do well when there is resistance, right? And so let's talk about revealing the algorithms of success. Now, well, if you're here, obviously, there's sometimes I like totally amuse myself because sometimes there's things that are going to come out of my mouth and I'm like, where did that come from? It comes from a place of just wanting to have fun, right? Now, when was the last time you give yourself permission to have fun? And guys, just understand, I got all kinds of cameras going here, so this is why my eyeballs are going on everywhere. But understand, when was the last time you had fun? Like, play is cool, but had fun and laughed at some of the crazy things that go through your head, right? When was the last time you did that? Because it's good to disrupt what it is that you are currently doing so that you can start seeing what else is possible, because we have these neural networks that literally start creating super highways of information within ourselves. And if we don't disrupt those super highways of information, we're just going to keep getting the same results that we get in our lives. So it's really important for us to disrupt what it is that we are currently doing. Kind of like, going into our computer and clearing our cache, right? Like clearing out our search history, because Otherwise, the algorithms are going to align with what it is that you research. Now, I have a good friend of mine, his son. Now, some of our greatest teachers are kids, right? And oh my gosh, this was a brilliant lesson. And his son was watching YouTube, and he said, "Daddy, you know what's amazing? That if I search certain topics a number of times, what ends up happening is the algorithms keep bringing videos that are similar to all of my present or past searches, right? So that they give me more and more information because the algorithms wants to serve what it is that you are currently searching, right? That's the whole name of the game online is your attention is the number one commodity, right? Like how many of you go to a site or type to text to a friend or something like that, and then all of a sudden an advertisement shows up on your social media platform and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like they read your minds. Well, that's the intention. There's lots of documentaries out there that show how the algorithms work and how you can take this and utilize it so that you can get this to work in your favor, right? There's a thing inside of us that is called the RAS, called the reticular activating system, right? And what the RAS is going to do is it's going to notice what is important to you, like what is personal for you, right? Just like an algorithm is. So you have, well, depending on if you drive or not, or if you own a car or not, but all of a sudden, when you buy a car, you start understanding that that car, there's lots of those cars, lots of cars that are very similar to that. And you start noticing that car everywhere. That is your RA system going to work because now all those cars were there before, right? But once you personally owned one and had a personal investment into it, now you noticed it everywhere. Okay. This is the same thing that happens with success, right? Like you find what you're looking for. Let me repeat that. You find what you're looking for. And your unconscious is wired based on beliefs, based on values, based on decisions, the things that we have done in our, and well, I say this all the time. If you've been in my trainings, 75% of what we know was by the age of 5. 75% of what we know in our entire lives was by the age of 5. Okay. So that means this is setting up our programming for the algorithms of what is the inner webs, if you will, you want to call it the super webs, is going to feed back data to us. Right now, here's a great example. Like our conscious mind can only process so much information. Like our unconscious can process a ton of information, right? Like right now it is having you breathe and you weren't even aware of it until I just said it, right? And your heartbeat is beating right now, but you're not even aware of it until I just mentioned it, until I called it forward, right? So your unconscious is running a lot, and well, and your subconscious is as well. But understanding there's superconscious, right? But your conscious mind can only process a certain amount of information. So let me give you a case in point. Have you ever been looking everywhere for a set of keys, like everywhere, and someone comes up to you and says, the keys are right here. And you're like, where did you find them? And they're like, they were right there. And you're like, I looked there, I don't know how many times. Well, this is what's going on. Is your mind was literally deleting information because the information did not align with the image you had in your head. Okay. Another case in point. I've got thousands of books, right? And if there's a particular title that I want to look up to do research or whatever, what I do is I'll begin looking for the books, and I have them. I don't have a library by any means, but I have them categorized somewhat in 3 basic categories within my office. And if I'm looking for a particular book and I'm not able to find it after 10 15 minutes or whatever like that, usually it's not even that long, what I'll do is I'll get on Amazon or where I purchased the book and I'll look it up to make sure that what I'm looking for is actually the book I'm looking for. And as soon as I see it, it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's what it looks like. Boom, I find it just like that. Okay, this is the algorithms of success. So what algorithms do you really have? Now, this is the interesting part, my friend, is this has been my journey, right? Like there's a reason I'm bald. Like the hair jumped out of my head because it was just like, it is too tense in this area because there are so many things that I had to change the programming that was creating the algorithms of what I attracted in my life, right? Like we've all heard self-fulfilling prophecy. We've all heard that 95% or 85% of lottery winners file bankruptcy. 5 years after winning the lottery. Why? Because the algorithm wasn't allowing for them to receive such an influx, such a disruption in their lives, right? So, like, if you go to YouTube and all you watch is Spider-Man videos, it's just going to keep producing more and more Spider-Man videos, and you're going to get lost into all the content that it brings up, right? Same way as if you believe you're not capable of achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve, right? That's all life is going to bring back to you. As you are, so it is, which means you perceive based on what you believe. Okay. Your perception is just part of the reality, right? Our our reality, how we show up in life, is just a mirror of who we are, right? So when we start noticing certain aspects coming up within us, no, by the way, if you guys haven't, in fact, I gotta put this in here because this is very important. Um, I'm going to be doing a really awesome uh, teaching this coming Tuesday, or excuse me, this coming Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to give you the information right here on where you can access it. It's absolutely free and it's going to absolutely blow you away. This is where you can get this. You can get it at thepotentialzonegroup.com, thepotentialzonegroup.com. This is where the community where I'm showing people how to be potentializers, right? Like potential is stepping in and actualizing possibility, right? So you want to join the potentialzonegroup.com. It's a Facebook group, absolutely free. Give tons and tons and tons of content away. Amazing people over there that want to do everything they can to support you. But understanding that we are homeostasis, okay? And what that means is we are always seeking balance. And nature has this beautiful way of balancing things out. And I'm actually going to be doing a training here. What time is it? 5:11 in about 50 minutes with one of my master classes that I'm going to be teaching. And I'm going to be teaching some amazing things to really teach these people how to let go of the things that keep them at the level that they're at. See, friends, the only thing that's keeping you where you're at is your investment into your comfort zone, is your investment into familiarity, is your investment into your algorithm, your current algorithm, right? Now, case in point, go to your YouTube and look at what videos come up, and then just start looking for different searches, right? Like look up RAS, go look up RAS and really check into what that really is, right? I'm gonna encourage you, don't believe anything I say, go research it, right? Then look at how algorithms and the RA system are similar, right? And friends, I don't teach anything that I haven't gone through myself, right? And for those of you that know me, I mean, I almost killed myself and my sister in a near fatal car accident many decades ago, and that's what really got me on this path of, like, my life depended on me figuring this stuff out, because the way I was living my life, I was destroying everything in my path, right? So I had to change the algorithms of what I was accessing, right? The algorithms I used to have, I was major drunk, major alcoholic, wanted to destroy everything in my life, major angry, major afraid, felt like a loser. I mean, that was my life, right? Suicidal, couldn't keep relation. I mean, I was a wild man, right? To the point of almost killing myself. Like that was my greatest failure. And so I had to overwhelm my current algorithms, right? Because I kept accessing it. And the more we do something, the easier it becomes next time, right? Like, when is a problem no longer a problem, right? Is when you have figured out how to move past the problem. So the more you embrace the problem and the challenge or the thing it is that you're not able to figure out, you're going to create the neurology and start creating new neural networks. So that becomes your new algorithm, right? I mean, there was a time that you didn't know how to walk, right? You didn't know how to walk. And then all of a sudden you learned how to walk, and oh my gosh, now you created that algorithm. And then all you got to see all the other people that started walking. It's just like, wow, this is an amazing world. What if you started doing that for your dreams, right? Like you figuring out how aligned your algorithm is to what it is that you want to create. Because you will never, ever create something beyond you if you believe it's not possible, right? So what is your algorithm access? What algorithm do you have of your own personal identity, Like, who are you? Right? Like, what is possible for you? What does your algorithm access and return? What information does it bring back asking that question? Like, what do you want to find as possible? What do you access? Is it the algorithms of looking at all the past failures that you've had in your life? Is it the algorithm of what is possible? Is it the algorithm of letting go? Right? And looking at what are you committed to? Now, friends, this is yeah, when you really set a commitment to making something happen. So case in point, it's not that it's not possible for you. It's not that it is possible that you can create whatever it is that you really want to create. Now, obviously, there's some we have like I can never be a Formula One driver. I would love to be, but I'm past the date. I mean, it's prime Formula One drivers in his early 30s, so I've got a couple decades on top of that, right? So, however, I could go say I want to go visit every Formula One race in a year, right? Something like that. But the point I'm making here is it's inside of you. Your superhuman ability is inside you. Now, if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, The Map to Your Fullest Potential, you can get it on Amazon. And in fact, I'd encourage you to do it because the price is going to be going up here soon. I think it's $4.95 right now. But in my book, I talk about Laura Schultz. Laura Schultz was a 63, 64-year-old woman. She's sitting in her living room and she hears this blood curdling scream. She goes running outside to hear what it is, and she recognizes that it's coming from her garage. She runs in her garage and sees that her big old Buick car had fallen on her grandson, and her grandson is trapped underneath it, screaming for her life. Guess what Laura Schultz did? She lifted that car off of him to save his life. Now, that starts messing with some of our belief system, kind of like Roger Bannister was up against when they didn't believe it was possible for us to run the 4-minute mile. Right now, like there's high school students that run the 4-minute mile now, right? But what happened is she was more committed to saving her grandson's life than being committed to the fact that she couldn't lift that car off of him, right? So if you start looking at your life like and your dreams and going after your dreams like you do your children, you would be unstoppable. Right? And that's the algorithm that you get to create so that you can literally start downloading what it is that is necessary for you to become and what it is necessary for you to let go of in order for you to create what it is that you really want to create. Right? That's what is really important for you to understand is because the more you step into this, the more it's going to create momentum. Right? Like there's a lot of inertia in our lives, right? Inertia is an object at rest or in motion will continue to stay in that state unless an external force acts upon it. Let this conversation be an external force upon you and say it's possible, right? The only thing that's keeping you from believing it's possible is different algorithms that are within yourself, right? Like there's no reason I should be here. Like I did everything. My greatest failure was that car accident. There's no reason I should be here. I did not want to live to be past the age of 25, right? Now I teach lots of people. I have amazing clients. I mean, you don't you don't get here from where I came from, right? Unless you completely eradicate your algorithms, your programming, right? You can have the greatest software in the world and you can install it on top of your operating system, but it's your operating system that runs your algorithms. And if your operating system is off, you can put the greatest software for relationship, the greatest software for health, the greatest software for success on top of it. It is not going to operate to its fullest potential because the operating system is off, right? We've got to get real about what's going on in our operating system and start investing into what it is that's going to allow us to change what is going on there, right? Otherwise, you can keep going where you're going. And if you're loving life, that's awesome. Good for you. That's awesome. But see, a lot of people think that it's so monumental, but they don't understand. Read the book, Good to Great, right? The thing that moves you from good to great is little tiny tweaks, right? Like one belief just radically switched. Like I've had one session with clients, radically shifted their lives, like to the point they went back and rewrote their entire book, sold their company, and now they're a high paid keynote speaker and have an incredible elite coaching business. Like boom, massive shift. You're one shift away from changing the life that you want to change. Now, are you going to stay invested into keeping and expanding your algorithm that keeps you where you're at right now? Right? Because again, like I said, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Right? So if you haven't joined a Potential Zone group, I highly recommend you. Absolutely free. Lots of amazing things going on over there. And I have a big surprise for everybody. Monday, I'm going to be doing a master training that I'm going to be doing Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be giving the accessibility within that group. So get over to the potentialzonegroup.com and be sure to keep your eyes open for the information that I'm going to be sharing. It's going to be over a number of days. It's not going to be like I'm going to post it once. So I appreciate everybody being here. And I want you to look at, what is your algorithm giving back to you? How is your algorithm serving you? Right? Because your subconscious mind is serving you the way it believes you want it to serve you. Right? And until we get clear, it's one of my favorite quotes. If we do not make our unconscious conscious, it will direct our lives and we will call it fate. That's by Carl Jung. Right? We've got to figure out what's going on with our unconscious, where our understand, we are standing on top of what's under, which is our algorithms, right? Like, what is your life reflecting back to you? How is it serving you for what it is that you really want to create? Okay. So I appreciate everybody being here. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing these for a lot more often. I'm going to be doing one tomorrow night. So look for the post for that. I'll put up later tonight. Again, get over to the potentialzonegroup.com, thepotentialzonegroup.com. You'll be glad you did. Join the community. Lots of amazing things going on there. And I'm going to be teaching a very, very, very advanced masterclass on Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You do not want to miss it. I'm going to make available all my life work. It's ridiculous what I'm going to be teaching on Monday night. You do not want to miss it. So appreciate everybody being here. Much love. And if I haven't told you, or you haven't seen me, it's the first time you've seen me, happy New Year. I hope your new year is blessed beyond measure. I hope prosperity lands in your algorithm and it blows you out beyond anything that you think is possible. You're an extraordinary human being. You are loved, you are magic, and you are here. And you are here. And I appreciate you for sharing your time with me. So much love, my friend. As always, live like your life depends on it, because it does. Much love. Have a great night.